Judging a man, leading him, questioning him, nagging him, blaming him, none of those things are going to ever inspire him into stepping up and taking care of you. Most women, the vast majority of women, are not taught how to properly inspire a man into caring about what her experience is, about her unmet needs, about her feelings, about the problems that she's dealing with, probably because of him. Women aren't taught this, and this is not your fault. This is absolutely not your fault. But the result is you end up communicating in a way with a man that turns him off, that shuts off his masculine instinct, that makes him uninterested in wanting to take care of you. And you are trying your absolute best to communicate what is going on for you, and you continue to get these negative reactions from him. He starts attacking you. He's, hopefully not physically, attacking you emotionally. He starts gaslighting. He starts getting passive aggressive on you. He starts to emotionally withdraw. You can feel his heart shut down. Maybe he even does what you want, but you can tell he's doing it for the wrong reasons, right? If he's a weaker man, it's more for people pleasing, but he's not doing it out of devotion. So you get all of these negative responses from a man when you're trying to communicate what's going on for you. And then you get frustrated. And maybe you get anxious, and you get resentful, you get sad. You don't feel good. We're going to talk about what is happening and what you need to do to shift this if this has been your experience with a man or with men in the past. Before we do, I'm going to introduce myself. Hello, my name is Zach Rohde. I'm here to lead you into creating the relationship of your dreams using your feminine energy and what I call feminine communication to inspire a man into cherishing you. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you do that below. Hit the notification bell and be sure to like this video because, of course, I'm going to make sure it's a very good one for you. So this is what I experienced with my wife so often before I learned about polarity, before I learned about feminine communication, before I understood my role as a man is to start stepping up and leading her into feminine communication and out of any of her unhealthy communication patterns. So what would typically happen in our relationship is I would do something that I shouldn't have done. I just inconsiderate or selfish, just wasn't really thinking. Maybe I was being irritated and putting that on her. All kinds of different possibilities. I wasn't perfect back then. I'm still not perfect today. No man is perfect. No man will ever be perfect in this imperfect world, though we hopefully are inspired to become better. So man does imperfect thing. What happens next? Woman gets upset in some kind of way. She experiences some anxiety, some anger, some frustration, some irritation, whatever. Shame, maybe. And you have experienced this before, right? Every woman has experienced this before if you've ever been with a man, or even if you haven't been with a man, but especially if you've been with a man. And then you deal with those feelings in some kind of way. What do? Well, all the things we just talked about. You might judge, you might start going into questioning, a line of questioning. You might start leading in some way. You might start manipulating as another one. You also might be passive aggressive, judging, nagging, all this kind of stuff. Or you might even try to communicate things somewhat calmly, but it's still coming from up here in your head. It's not coming from here in your heart. It's not truly vulnerable. And so a man doesn't connect with it, and then he goes into his unhealthy patterns. What you have to understand about a man is he is wired in a specific way. Every man is wired in the same way. Now, he might have wounding on top of this wiring, but every man has a masculine instinct, and that masculine instinct is wired to serve the feminine, to serve a woman who is truly being vulnerable, who is truly open, who is communicating with deep respect, with reverence, with openness for him, even when he's imperfect. And when a woman is in that frequency, and when she gets the words correct using feminine communication, it doesn't have to be perfect, you can be messy, but you have to be in that right energetic frequency. What it does is it activates that masculine instinct to want to take care of you. And when you don't do that, he is going to receive what you are sharing as a form of disrespect. And typically it is disrespect, right? So his masculine instinct is going to feel irritation. He is going to close down his heart. He's going to become more cold, or he's going to become more heated, like angry at you, because he's not getting his needs met. His need as a man is for your reverence, it's for your respect, it's for your vulnerability, it's for your trust, it's for your faith, it's for your receptivity. And when you communicate in all these unhealthy ways that we just talked about, you're not meeting his need. You're not giving him what he needs. And so what happens when we don't get our needs met? We feel bad. We feel unpleasant. And then we usually take that unpleasant feeling and put it onto somebody else. In this case, you. Which is what you were doing with him when you communicate in a disrespectful way, right? You see how that works? And then it's back and forth. And of course, a man should ideally be able to deal with your communication even if it's imperfect and lovingly teach you how to communicate in a better way, which is what I eventually learned how to do for my wife so that she could communicate in a way where I was inspired to take care of her. But if you don't have a man doing that, if he's not doing it right now, well, you need to take matters into your own hand. You should take matters into your own hand regardless. You should look at yourself. How are you showing up? How are you co-creating this situation that you don't want? Which is a man who is not taking care of you and not caring for you properly when you're communicating imperfectly. You look at that, and then you look at, okay, how can I fix this? How can I shift into a more vulnerable frequency? How can I be more feminine using feminine communication? How can I be more permissive? Permissiveness is a great part of feminine communication that many women get triggered by. How can I be sharing my actual feelings, real feelings, like that I feel sad, from a really receptive energy, a reverential energy? How do I share problems without judging? How do I stop questioning when I'm feeling anxious or angry and instead open myself to his care by just very briefly, like, may I please have some help? I'm feeling a lot of sadness, or I'm feeling a lot of anger. I don't know what to do with it. Right? That's a lot better than judging and complaining and questioning and all the kinds of things that women will typically do. Right? That starts to inspire care. And of course, there's so much more to feminine communication, but that's part of the building blocks. Can you feel the receptivity in that statement? Can you feel the vulnerability? Can you feel the reverential energy where you're looking up at a man energetically and opening yourself up to his care? That is what inspires him. And you might think, yeah, well, but he doesn't deserve it in this moment because he was being such a jerk. Maybe not. But you know what? Sometimes we could say you're not really deserving of love. You're not acting in a very lovable way. But does that mean that a man should be treating you poorly because of that? No. A man should always treat you with love no matter how you show up. Just like you should always treat a man with respect, with reverence, no matter how he shows up. And the more that you do that, guess what happens? The more you treat him with respect, the more respectable he becomes. That doesn't mean you become a doormat, right? Respect isn't about being a doormat. It's not about complying. It's not about fawning. It's about speaking your heart in a vulnerable way using feminine communication. Without the judging, without the questioning, without the nagging. When you get that respectable man. You want the respectable man? You want the kind of man that you can look up to and truly revere and feel totally safe with? Start treating him that way. In the way that you show up, in your communication, and then everything changes. If you want help learning how to do that, fantastic. I am here for you. Go below this video, open up the description, click on relationshipofyourdreams.com and watch the video on that page. And then if it feels right after that, book that call with me. And I will absolutely love to speak with you. We can start helping you change your love life forever.